It's about that time, folks. Welcome back to the podcast. With us today, as usual, we have the young Naguyan, straight from the jungle himself.
Again.
Mr. Ching Chong Chung Sun, and the Crimson Chin himself. And happy Halloween, guys. Thank you guys for joining us tonight.
Happy Halloween.
We obviously don't go trick-or-treating this time of year. I guess we're a little too old for that now.
Nah, they're.
Actually, can you guys remember the last time you went trick-or-treating?
Are you kidding?
Because I think I went in college. I think there was one
I went in
time-
college.
College? What the fuck is wrong with you people?
I think I went one time, like my sophomore year or freshman year.
It was probably like junior year of high school, to be honest.
Wow.
Did you get any good loot by that time?
The main point of it was really just to fuck around, not really like get candy.
Oh, that's when you know you've grown up. You don't want the candy no more.
What do you mean by fucking
Well, like
around?
we go to the big houses first to grab all the good candy, like the chocolate,
Dude,
the
that's
full
so-
chocolate bars, and then once we do that, then it's just like, all right, fuck it, dude, let's just go fuck around and make some mischief. So
you would go and steal candy from a.
wait, no one said stealing anything.
You said the chocolate bars. So I mean, so
Yeah,
so
we
what
would
I mean by
we would
that.
hit up the big houses that had who gave out the full size
Okay.
chocolate bars.
All right. I was imagining
That was
in
our
my
trick or
head-
treating for.
I was imagining in my head that you would go to the places that where they didn't have people there, but they would have good candy, and they would just leave the bowl out, and then you just take all the candy. I feel like you're that type of
What
guy.
we used to do is that we went to the grocery store and then robbed the dude for his candy and said trick or treat.
Oh yeah, trick or treat.
Oh yeah.
What about you, Troy?
Yeah, I also just went in college. Just went through a neighborhood with
Why?
my family. No, I was with my family at the time for Thanksgiving. I don't remember how or
Thanksgiving, but this is
Thanksgiving.
Halloween.
Halloween. Sorry.
Thanksgiving, you going door to door?
Yeah, I don't know why, but I was in Orlando with my family, and then I have a ton of young kids in my family, so my nieces and nephews. So I just went with them.
So when you
Uncle
say
going.
trick or treating, you actually trick or treat, or you just kind
I
of
mean, I
chaperone?
went with them and I got some candy, and then I gave them my candy.
Yo, man, the man can get candy.
I just wanted to
He's
make.
not
I wanted to clarify whether he was chaperoning or
I was
actually
going
trick or
up to
treating.
I was going up to the doors with the kids too, and I was getting candy.
Damn, damn.
Yeah.
I'm an adult. I need a double.
Yes.
I'm eating
My
for
calorie intake is more than a child.
And
That's
that
true.
6-year-old motherfucker dressed as Jack Sparrow.
But did you guys have any Did you guys have any office
What?
costumes going
No,
on?
I barely
No,
saw. I don't
but
think
today a lot of coworkers brought in their kids, and the kids were dressed in Halloween costumes, so that was cool.
No,
Actually, there were kids in
my.
my office. What?
Wasn't really cute or cool at all.
Oh.
It was a little awkward. I ain't gonna lie. All right,
Yeah.
I was just trying to be positive. But
Yeah, I had to walk to the shitter.
Because they would knock on your cubicle and say,
No.
"Hey, can I trick or
just-
treat?"
to some people they did. But
Yeah,
not mine.
but I had to take a shit and just walk through as they like try to. They smell too like fucking 5-year-old kids.
Oh.
What do 5-year-old kids smell like?
Shit and piss and a little bit of like sugar.
Oh,
Oh.
Shit,
I actually
piss, and
did
sugar.
office Halloween at my place. I think last Friday or something like that. So and there's a lot of like adults and everything working at my building, and they told us beforehand to put a sticker on our window to
You have a
say that we
window?
were giving out candy. Yeah, because we all have offices, so we have like windows.
You have your own
You
office?
have your own office,
I mean, I share it with one other person. But yeah, we
Oh.
all have offices.
but it has a closing door
yeah,
Wow.
and a window on the door.
That's pretty.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
yeah, bro. It's 2018, man. Okay, we're past that cubicle
All right.
life.
We're
This
living
is an
behind-
office space.
We're living
From
behind the
fucking
times.
1996 or whatever.
We do still have the pension plan.
Yes.
Yeah, you know,
Get
and
the
I
fuck out.
can't
Get
compete
the
with
fuck out.
Old school.
Oh, but if you had to dress up as something, if you wanted to go all out for one costume this year, what would it have been?
that.
I guess I'll start off because you guys are still thinking, and I had some time to think about it. But I wanted to go in blackface.
Yeah, no.
Like if I but this is all on the kind of like on the condition that no one hates me for it. But I would.
Okay, can you explain why you would want to go blackface?
I think it'd be kind of funny. Like I'm not gonna go like kind of like super like
Why would it be funny?
because I'm not black. And it's almost like a huge juxtaposition from what I am. So I kind of
Juxtaposition.
right.
Juxtaposition.
That's a
You know,
good
like
word,
yin and
right?
Yang.
yin and
you
yang.
know?
That's $1,000 word right there.
So I kind of I mean, I wouldn't be like the super caricature of like a black individual from like the 1850s.
How would you play it out then?
I would try to do like a Robert Downey Jr. in Tropic Thunder type.
Oh, he was good.
He was
That
good.
really
That was the
man.
first time I've ever seen Robert Downey Jr. and I believed he was black. And when people told me that
thought
That was the
actually
first
a
time
black
you've
person.
seen Robert Downey Jr.?
that was like 2006. So yeah.
Yeah, 2006.
What?
I mean,
Something like
name a movie before that. Name a movie he's been in before that.
Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
Okay, there you go. I don't. I don't
All right, so Tanner watches inappropriate videos, but
You're right. Yeah,
But yeah, I would have been like Shaq or something, or like that dude from The Matrix.
you mean Morpheus?
Morpheus, that's the one.
Do you guys watch It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia?
Yeah,
I've seen a couple
I've seen a
clips.
couple episodes.
Yeah.
Okay, because there's this episode where they're remaking this movie called Lethal Weapon,
Oh,
and there's a black guy in the movie, and that's where the famous line "I'm too old for this shit" comes from.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so
okay.
Mac, one of the characters, for the movie that they're remaking, he does blackface. And there's like some shower scenes too. So when he's showering, the makeup is like wiping off his face. It looks so bad.
Wait, so
But yeah.
okay, did you guys get a chance to think about what you would be?
Um,
Troy,
No,
you
I
got
don't know.
something? Troy, are you
Yeah.
raising your hand? You can just
Yeah,
come in.
I
You don't
think
have to
I'd
raise
be
your
like
hand.
just a regular like Wild West cowboy with that revolver.
That's what you would go all in for? That's like a
All in.
$10
that way you
costume.
can buy the R8.
No. Like I would have a real R8 from Smith and Wesson. I have the real lasso, and apparently those things are really expensive. I have a
And
real
a
cowboy
real
hat,
those
real boots
those
with
are
the
expensive.
spinning spikes on the back, so I can make a horse faster.
What are those called again? You can't wear them unless
Nitro.
okay, I stand
Yeah.
corrected.
But yeah, that's that. I would spend all my money on that. Yeah. And a real badge.
A real badge,
You
a
can
real
buy a
sheriff's
real
badge that you
badge.
stole off another sheriff.
Black market, but thank you.
Oh, okay. Not bad. I can't. How can I complain about that?
Yeah, cowboys are cool.
No, they're not. But okay, go ahead, Tanner.
Cowboys are awesome, dude. But I don't know if I would do that. I've
I'm
never
giving
been...
you like $2,000 to go all out on one costume this year.
Can you
Yeah.
just go as your favorite video game character?
Sure. I guess
Look
I
at
would
the
go as
splash.
like if I can get all the money and spend it on something. I guess maybe like an astronaut.
And
So I can have and have like an astronaut costume afterwards.
My God,
Hey.
like you guys are choosing the stereotypical shitty costume that you find at Walmart.
Dang.
Bro, I think that having an
I just
astronaut
want to be
costume
an
would
astronaut.
badass.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck you, man.
Do you think? How do you
Yeah,
feel?
you just as a guy that wants to be fucking blackface.
I would,
right?
okay, based because of that. How do
Cool.
you feel about that the whole kind of ideology about like my culture is not your costume?
Oh, appropriation.
Yeah, the cultural appropriation. Let's go in on that a little bit.
I personally think it's fine. I remember one of the ASU events that I went to, like in the early half of college, so either freshman or sophomore year. It was about like we were shown a dance of like Katy Perry wearing like Asian clothes or whatever, and like swinging on a rope.
How
and, like, singing
fucking dare
beautifully.
she?
Yeah, something like that. And then I remember the leader of the event was like, "You guys think this is cool and okay?" And it was like I guess half, like yes, no. And then after we all answered, she was like, "Cause it's not okay, and we're gonna talk about that." And then I don't even really remember what was spoken there, but I didn't think there were good reasons for like what I can remember. Like
Because
I
our
don't-
culture is
don't
not
you
their
think It's
costume.
kind of racist itself that you have to be a race to like do something. Like I don't know.
Yeah,
You know what I'm trying to
for
say?
sure.
It can be like counterintuitive.
I think that blackface is a different level. Of
I
that,
expect them
but-
to go yellow face too. Honestly, I'm a little bit of a hyperbole right now just to get my point across.
Yeah. Yeah, and I agree with Troy that I don't think that cultural appropriation
because
is really that.
the more you hold these things on pedestals and say no, you can't do that. That you keep it never ends. You know what I'm saying?
I feel
It
like
just
you give an
stays the same.
opportunity to be offended by limiting it.
Yeah.
So like,
What do you mean you give it an?
like
What do you mean by
you
giving it?
you give yourself or you give a reason to be upset. You give
a
yourself like because of the fact that you hold it, that you say you can't do this. So anyone who does do it, it's art. You add that as kind of like a weakness against you.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Like you're setting up a programmable weakness. So
Yeah.
if person does X, I'm gonna do Y, and there's nothing I can do about it because I hard programmed my emotions like this, So
I think that's just a problem of being like an emotional person
Are
and
are
not being
none
in
of us
control of your actions.
emotional people?
I think
I
I
have
think
no
some of
emotion.
us here are a little bit more emotional than others, but I think that I think it's all about being able to control your response to things for sure.
Yeah.
And when it comes to cultural appropriation, I think that there's obviously a variety of different types of cases that you can encounter that fall under the umbrella of cultural appropriation, and I think that some are weighed differently than others. But I think,
Do you
for
think it
example,
should be weighed that way? Do you think it
what do you
should be
mean?
weighed differently?
No, but I'm saying that I think in my own head I weigh them differently.
Okay.
And okay, are you asking if they should be?
Yeah.
I think that they should, because I think there's different. I think it's like case by case basis. I think there's different cases for different things.
Mm-hmm.
I think that not like, for example, I don't think that Katy Perry wearing Asian clothes is on the same level as you going blackface.
okay,
And
yeah, I was gonna say
Yes. Tomato.
apples, oranges.
But I definitely don't think that it's a problem for like Katy Perry to wear Asian clothes, and I think it's definitely super against
The whole
white
idea.
people wearing other cultures' clothes. And the big argument against it is because they
don't
kind
appreciate it.
not that I guess that's one of the things, but it's mostly that they say that because they colonized our culture and then
Then they
in a
kind of
sense,
celebrate our culture too at the same time. That it
but
doesn't seem
I
like
mean,
it's like you can't
it's
have
one
your
thing,
cake
but
and eat it too.
but for you to say that they're celebrating it, that's you trying to say that they're appreciating it.
Okay.
But what they're arguing is that they're not appreciating it; they're appropriating.
They're
it.
mocking
So if they
it.
were they're mocking it. But
yeah, sort of way.
I think that it's not, for me. I don't think it's that really big a deal, and I think
I don't think it's
very
that black and
hypocritical.
white anymore to where like if someone wears a costume of a culture that it's always like with malicious intent. I don't think I think one of the sayings that I've always heard and kind of led by is just like don't ever assume don't assume maliciousness before naivety or something like that, or like naivety or ignorance. I think that was I think that might be one. Yeah.
Let's talk about an example. If you guys still remember, I'm pretty sure this happened 1 or 2 years ago.
You gonna talk about Jeremy Lin or something?
No,
Oh.
a bunch of posts regarding like FSU football games. I saw a bunch of posts like, "Hey, I know you really want to support your school, but do not wear Indian headdresses to the FSU football games. You may think it's like good spirit, but it's not because blah blah blah." And I don't know. How do you guys feel about that?
I don't know why I feel like we should that's kind of should be frowned upon more. I wouldn't say it's not allowed, but I think it should be frowned upon. And
To wear Indian headdresses.
yeah, and it's only because
Why?
of the fact that I still think Native Americans are still below like American citizens. Not
But the same argument can be made for blacks under whites and Asians under
I
whites.
think
Those same arguments could be made
but-
because socioeconomically, blacks are below whites.
now
And
that's racist of you to say, but but I think blacks, Asians, Hispanics, and all the other ones still have opportunity for growth.
That's fine, and that's fair, and that is true more so than Native Americans.
Yeah.
But the fact still stands that
Yes,
all these other minorities are seen as below whites.
of course.
Yeah.
But I don't think
So you're
I
argument.
think it's not reality to think that we are below white people. But I think
Okay,
it
fine.
is
You know what?
reality.
If you want to make the argument for Asians not being below whites, that's fine. But you can't say the same thing about blacks. You can't, because
Tomato.
socioeconomically, it's not tomato.
I'm just kidding. I just want to say that.
Sometimes, dude, you just say things to say things, and I'm like, what the fuck? But anyways, yeah. So, what is your argument? What is your counter argument to that?
Okay, so
I think
let me pop in
your
here. It
argument
seems
falls
like for Jason, he knows about the different levels, but in terms of Native Americans, it's at a certain threshold that where a new gear of thinking comes in. Like
Yeah.
he knows the same concept is going down. But for Jason right here, he's like, nah,
Maybe I just feel bad for them too much, and maybe I shouldn't be feeling bad for Native Americans.
I think
Maybe
you
I should.
nailed it on the head.
Maybe
I think
fuck,
that's exactly
fuck
what's
them.
happening.
Fuck them.
I think that's
Forget it. I'm gonna go fucking
Yeah,
dress up
that's
as
like a huge. That was a huge 180. Like, you don't gotta turn around.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know necessarily how I feel about the headdress because I don't really think of it as that much of a problem.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Let's get one thing straight, regardless of what it means or like if it's right or wrong. Those things look really cool.
They do look cool. I thought you were gonna go a lot like, come on, like, hey guys, even though we're talking about this in a very,
Mature way.
hyperbolic way and saying a lot of weird shit, I just want you to know that we do respect every culture and everyone in it. No, we don't. Get the fuck out of here. No, we don't.
Well, man, speak for yourself.
Okay, no, I don't. I don't respect
Let's
everyone.
just make up some stuff. I mean, I don't really feel like researching right now, but let's just make some fun assumptions. Like, what if Indian headdresses are only used like in funeral times or something like that? Then I guess that'd probably be wrong.
You are
right?
just assuming these things, so
Yes,
I'm not.
He's bringing up the situation scenario. So
Yeah,
what do you
let's just
think
say
about
like,
that?
what if we know that's where Indian headdresses came from, but you still wear it to the football game anyway? Would you? That's probably disrespectful then.
Possibly, even though
I don't think so.
it's possible.
Oh.
I'm only saying possibly, but to be honest, I still wouldn't care.
Oh, okay.
But I welcome you to be upset as a Native American. Go ahead, please be upset if you feel bad that someone's wearing your funeral headdress.
Mm.
But I don't think it should be banned or not allowed, so to speak.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I'm
I don't think it
super
is
big
banned.
on
It was just-
advocating for like free speech, and dressing up is a form of free speech. So I can't really argue too much against it.
Yeah, I don't think it was banned when I read those things, but definitely I think it was highly looked down upon.
Actually, now that I think about it, if I had to choose a costume for Halloween, it wouldn't be a black person, or it wouldn't be blackface. It'd be a fucking Nazi.
You'd be a Nazi.
I'd be a
Isn't that illegal?
No.
Or no?
No.
I don't think it's illegal here.
I would dress up in full
It's illegal in
Nazi
Germany.
regalia,
Yeah. Okay.
like with the medals. It would be like a $1,500 suit type deal. And I would be like a comedic Nazi too. I wouldn't just like
like that Key and Peele skit.
yeah.
Oh my God.
Dead.
Yes, John.
That's a high quality Nazi. I forgot the name of the actor, but he's brilliant.
Yeah, he's from Modern Family, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's brilliant. His accent is so good.
But yeah,
And he looks the part so well too.
yeah.
his black. Oh yeah, he has black hair too.
Yep.
Yeah.
I thought it was a pretty good talk though.
Did
so
we
covered,
did we conclude on anything?
No.
Cultural appropriation, good or bad?
I say it's all right. I don't really care too much.
And
I don't think
Tanner said he didn't say what it should be, but he said if he feels like they're way differently depending on the situation. Like Jason's blackface.
All right, Tanner. If
or,
you were
know,
if Tanner and Troy, if you were in office right now and you're like the emperor of the fucking country and of the world, what is your executive order?
I would say it's okay.
Okay.
Oh.
If we had to like actually like put something on it, what is your executive order?
But the thing is, it's not illegal right now. We're just talking about like how society should.
Oh
view
no,
it.
yeah,
It's
no.
already-
This executive order makes society.
Oh, okay. Well,
chooses how
It
society.
changes like the minds of everybody.
Yeah.
I will make
But then
society.
it wouldn't even matter either way.
Well, yeah, but
because then they wouldn't care.
well,
It wouldn't
listen,
even
we're
be
not
a
going
hot
that
topic.
hardcore. Just answer the question. Just
We're not going that hardcore when we're.
But your scenario makes it so that like no matter what choice you make, it doesn't matter because they're not going to care.
that sounds like a issue of free will.
Can we not?
It doesn't sound like an issue.
It does sound like because
not an issue.
I'm implanting
The
them.
seed.
the seed inside their vaginal.
I said it's not
brain.
an issue. I didn't say it wasn't an issue.
It's a
I'm
non-issue.
not talking about it.
It's not a non-issue. We'll save that for another time.
Another time, like episode 100.
No, maybe.
Yeah, you really gotta stay committed if you ever want to hear about what we think about free will.
Oh, Tanner can go on, right? Tanner, you can go on.
No, I don't know that much about it.
Why? What's wrong with free? Okay, no. I'm not even gonna question it.
Episode 100.
Not
Stay
even-
tuned, guys.
Not even gonna question it. Troy, you had something right before we started, and that we kind of shut you up for because we wanted to bring it up for the podcast.
Oh,
What
I
was it?
said I was pretty heated about some topic, and I was like, I believe in this. What was it?
I guess you weren't that heated.
PC culture.
PC culture. It was
What is PC culture? Yo.
political correctness.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I said
we kind of could.
I was pretty
segue from
tired
that, yeah.
about like being politically correct too much. It feels like we're walking on eggshells with everything like we say in public, especially
Give me an
if you, like,
example.
work for a company. What made me think of it? Something just happened that made me think of it, and then something you guys said, and I was like, no, I'm tired of being politically correct.
Oh, because I introduced Jason as Ching Chong
Oh
Chung.
yeah.
Yeah. So basically, we were going through a small planning of our introduction, and Tanner was like, "Is it okay if I call Jason Ching Chang Chung this time?" And I was like, "Yeah, like easily, yeah."
Oh okay. Yeah. No, yeah. He can.
Like,
So you think that it shouldn't be a problem for people to have to worry about the things that
the implications or like the consequences of their words.
of what they say.
yeah.
I feel like at some point you do.
I think you do have to answer. I do think you have to answer for what you say.
Yeah.
I think that
you can't just
know,
say
words-
whatever shit you want without backing it up or
Right.
actually like giving it evidence behind it or.
And I think that when it comes to PC culture, like I'm not an advocate for PC culture, and I think that there's certain things within it that are harmful to society, like how it infringes on the First Amendment and stuff like that. But I do think that there is a level of decency. There has to be a level of decency.
Yeah.
in
Oh
how
yeah.
we-
Like,
And
you
I
gotta
think
draw
that's-
the line somewhere.
I think
can't
that's a
just-
social thing. It shouldn't have anything. You shouldn't need a law to kind of enact it to make that a possibility or make that reality. You have to let society as itself kind of mold itself into that sort of thing.
But I mean, there's things that we do that kind of frame society already in the way that you're talking about. There's like law. I mean, that is the existence of laws.
No, I meant
Laws
like,
are-
but like,
why shouldn't there be a law for that? But there should be a law for other things.
I think that should be kind of like molded by society, like based on like morals and like social norms. That should be how political correctness comes about. It like yeah,
But
I know,
I'm saying that those morals that you speak of that should shape society, those are the morals that we make laws. Those are we discover those truths and we make them laws.
Not necessarily. I think there's
Like,
it's really
we
easy to
shouldn't-
say stuff like
That's like saying that there shouldn't be a law to not murder because we already shouldn't murder.
No.
And we already understand that as a society that we
that's
shouldn't
not
kill
what
people.
I'm going for. But okay,
I think
But
what
you're
had
saying
to-
that-
I was just about to say that actually.
Oh,
So
Boom,
I was
bitch.
trying to say, I think there's a big difference between law, like you shouldn't kill, you shouldn't steal, but laws like that would be very different from laws like you cannot say these bad words or you can act like this.
no, I think
Okay.
that's why I think the First Amendment is is a good one because it's broad enough to where it doesn't limit you, but it limits you like to say like things like you can't scream fire in a crowded theater. That's one of like the main things. You can't incite violence or like whatever with your words or something like that. But I it's not so specific. It's where it's like you can't do hate speech. Hate speech is free speech. In the sense you free speech is allowing you to have contradicting like ideas.
I think hate speech is. I don't know if hate speech is legal. Is it?
It is legal. Hate speech is free speech because anything I could say, anything you say to me, I can consider hate speech if it's against me. Are you gonna look this up now? You
Yeah,
don't
I'm
trust
looking
anything
up,
I
yeah.
say.
I think
I don't trust anything.
I think you're
I am-
allowed to call another guy the N-word or call me a chink, but
Yeah.
you shouldn't.
There might be some other consequences.
Yeah, there may be
Oh,
other
if you think so,
consequences,
then why
but I
don't you say
don't.
it right now.
No, that's what we're saying.
I'm
Like,
saying, yeah.
that you're not gonna get punished by the law necessarily, but you might get shot in your sleep by some citizen. You know,
You might catch a fade. You know what I mean? Shoot the-
fade?
a fade. Yeah, like a haircut.
But yeah, Tan, basically, not gonna get punished by law, but you're definitely gonna face some consequences by other citizens, even if what they do is illegal.
Free
there's no
speech is to
saving you.
protect contradicting a speech. I think.
Opposing
Yeah.
ideology.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, opposing ideologies. But when I think there has to be a line drawn when an ideology it spreads hate upon a group of people. I think there has to be some sort of line drawn.
Like you said, words shouldn't incite violence. Like, what if people keep saying the N word too much to this guy in school, and then he starts getting bullied and beat up? I don't know.
Thing is that like even though I want to support that like 100% like morally, I think from a point of being like logical and thinking about the other consequences that could come about from it, I can't support it.
What
Can't
are
support
what
what?
are the
I
what
can't.
are what are the consequences that you think that could come from?
If you start limit, because like
if you say we banned hate speech,
then
and I'm not saying that I agree with banning
because
hate
hate
speech.
speech is so like
Broad.
it's
Very
it's
broad.
so broad, like it can be it can be miscategorized for anything. If I say
Let's
like
go more specific then. Ban the N word. Like, imagine if that happened tomorrow. N word was banned.
like I feel like
Not even blacks could say it.
no, we
no one
allow
can
it.
say it.
Yeah, no one. That'd be so. I don't know how I would feel about that because it's not like I use that word on a daily basis and like it's part of. Shut.
Sorry, I was looking at something else, dude.
I don't use that word on a daily basis, and
At all.
at zero, absolutely never. Not even in the latest Drake song. But the point of it is that like I don't think you should give that. You should limit that in a law. I think you should let society limit you.
No, that's I don't know about that. I mean, I guess it comes down to
is
what you think
it
that
like
the
is it
government's role for society is. But I think that the point of
right
Yeah, I
now
guess it gets
it's already a societal like norm not to
yeah,
say.
but now you're leaving it up to other people to.
I think it's
like,
that
to-
freedom
to-
though. That's your free. It's a freedom.
I
Man.
know, but
that's
you're
why we
saying-
come to
you're
this
saying-
country.
I know, but you're saying that it should be up to the other people it should be up to society to deem the consequences for you for saying those things, not the government. And then when you leave it up to that, that's how you get murders and stuff like that. That's how you get beatings, which are obviously against are illegal and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
But when you say that you're going to leave those things up to society, society will do whatever the fuck it wants because it's already doing things that
I think it's too overreaching of a higher power such as government to start trying to put their hand into that part of like society, like where it's too specific. I think the government is supposed to facilitate like knowledge and opposing thoughts and innovation and all that. But
But
when
they're there
it's
to physically protect you.
I think when it starts limiting you, that's when people start to feel kind of like, no, you can't do that. That's not democracy. That's the reason why we came to America and established the United States against the British government and crown is because that we wanted to have our way. We were willing to be ourselves and not have something really overarching and overreaching like that.
Do you identify with the founding fathers?
Oh, I always do, man. 7 years ago.
I don't know. I think it's interesting that a lot of arguments in politics when it comes from like either the right or the left, and I guess in this case from the right is like we have this constitution and we should follow it to a T, blah, blah, blah. It's very much like following it as if it were some sort of Bible or something like that.
Yeah.
So they're almost religious in their fanaticism about it.
Yeah,
I think that you can't. I understand that there's these things called amendments that you can use to change the laws and stuff like that. But so much effort is put into preventing those amendments and keeping them to the original core constitution that it's like kind of going against what the point of amendments were.
I agree.
So it's yeah.
I'm definitely for I'm not like a strict constitutionalist where whatever the Constitution says, I think it's definitely left up to interpretation, and especially for the time, especially in the time that you read it.
Yo, side note, you guys ever see that funny Family Guy episode where they were like, everyone has the right to bear arms, and then it's going back to when they're writing the Constitution, and there's literally like a pair of bare arms above their fireplace, like as a hunting trophy, and they're like, they'll know what we mean. I thought it was pretty funny.
Did you guys read? I know we don't like to talk about politics.
1984.
No, but did you guys read that article read about Trump deciding that he wanted to do an executive order?
I
saw that a lot.
Yeah, I saw that earlier.
So for the people that don't know, Trump said in an interview that he could change the immigration policies,
The 14th Amendment.
The 14th Amendment based on executive order as opposed to vetting it through the Senate process. And a lot of people were up in arms about that, including Republicans,
Of course. Paul
who said,
Ryan.
yeah, and reasonably so, because that would go against the
Being a
whole idea.
constitutionalist, yeah.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
it would go against like the fact that the Congress exists there to help facilitate these decisions, and changing the Constitution just like that would be like, wow, dude, you just fucking ripped out a page of my Bible, kind of thing.
Too much power.
Yeah. Well, what do you guys think about that? Well, what do you guys think? Yeah, what do you guys think about that? Go ahead.
Just in general.
I mean, like, of course it's dumb. But like, I mean, there is no way of like siding with Trump on this one. Like, I mean, there are some things that you can, but like this one, it doesn't make sense.
Let's try it for fun though. I always love devil's advocate. I love rooting.
Go ahead, Troy. You be the devil's advocate. Tell us why it's so good then. Why should
I want to brainstorm with you guys? What is the benefit of removing?
Let's do a Venn diagram real quick.
There has to be at least one, even if it's a bad benefit, even if it's a sucky benefit. It's got to be like one good thing.
It's so weird because that means like.
So you're talking about immigration policy? So you want to talk about immigration?
That thing that you just
so
talked about.
so kind of I think what the gist was that he would make an executive order so that
and bypass Congress. That was the problem.
Your parents would have to be American citizens.
I don't think it would.
So that's how you would get the naturalized birth, I think.
Yeah, but I don't like. It would be for like future immigrants.
Yeah, of course. Like, no, I'm not. Of course, we're all grandfathers.
So you're like, my parents now have to fucking go back.
Oh, it doesn't.
No, it's not retroactive.
Here, right?
Yeah, it's not.
Just starting from that date he signs it, then. Yeah. Okay.
But you know what? I think it's most fucked up that it's. The headline for the article was about the fact that it's going to shake up the election time, because now a lot of Republicans are kind of scrambling because maybe their voter base doesn't agree with what Trump is doing, blah blah blah, or something like that, and so they're worried about getting votes and stuff like that. And it kind of peeves me a little bit when I hear about stuff like that, when it's really just about them collecting votes and not so much about them caring about what's actually
making America better. Yeah.
Of
it's
course.
just like, fuck,
Making
man,
America
my voters
great again.
It's like, I'm not gonna get all these votes in these counties. Like, fuck, man, blah blah. Blah. It's like, it's so fucked up. Like,
I mean, that's just the name of the game.
That's the name of politics.
I used to fucking.
Did you ever want to be a politician?
No.
I think for a little bit of time, I think I could make a really good like senator.
I don't know about that.
Dang.
I think not based on like how my orator skills are, or like.
Well, that's what I was gonna base it entirely on. But
yeah, I was basing it on my ideals and the things I believed in. Listen, I'm a good moderate. I try my best, and I think I would cater to those Floridians well. I think.
Thank you.
Hopefully, I represent you.
Give me your ears.
Let me your ears. What?
I don't think I ever wanted to be a politician, and I still don't think I ever want to be a politician. But I guess I respect those that are willing to go through that process, because it's definitely, I don't know if I respect them, but I definitely am like, wow. I guess I'm amazed.
If you were a politician, do you think you'd be corrupt? You could fall.
I think by nature you kind of.
By nature you will become corrupt. I feel.
You would fall victim.
You have to give in to demands. It's all about giving into the people in order to gain their favor. Yeah. I don't want to say it like that, but it's definitely all about trying to appease everybody, and you have to kind of forsake some of your own morals to do so. And even the whole process to become elected, you have to have money. It costs a lot to be in a campaign, whether you're an independent or whatever, because the amount of advertisements you have to pay, all this and that. So you have to accept donations, and you have to generate funds in some sort of way, or else you risk not even getting to a platform to provide a voice for those that you promised to support. So I think by nature the game is just like, you're fucked.
I feel like politics has become so perverse in how it's mixed in with like business and like money, and it's just too hard to keep that balance of like, you want to help your country, but you also want to show short-term results so that you can stay in office and like stay powerful. And from an economic standpoint, most of the time we always learn like these short-term fixes that you're trying to do so you look good, like they'll just ruin the long term.
Yeah, none of them
that's the
ever
name of the
really
game.
work. Yeah, we all understand that, but like,
Yeah. So like, what do? It feels like you're stuck between a rock and a hard place as a politician. Do you try to do the right thing for the economy in America by doing this thing that no one wants to do?
but you don't also you don't your whole focus isn't just
Yeah.
economy, and it's
Yeah.
also social. And I think a lot of
Yeah.
times right now for social is the biggest kind of voter like on the voter's conscience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
I
we're
mean, no,
at
I think that's definitely a thing for like younger voters, and then for the older voters, it's definitely based on like
fiscal,
Yeah.
fiscal.
fiscal. I didn't know what I was gonna say, fiscal something, but like
Fiscal-
economics and stuff like that. It's all about
Fiscal
taxes,
policy.
Fiscal policy. That was the word I was looking for.
It's
So,
physical.
and I think that's definitely how you get the older voters, because that's the whole idea behind like Republican conservative ideology: lower taxes, increase, or is it increase or
But
decrease?
also, like, I feel like religion plays too much of a role in politics, even though we say like it shouldn't.
It definitely does. I agree.
I
I'm gonna
definitely,
make
yeah.
I mean, the whole thing in our thing is in God we trust, dude. It's like,
I
Yeah.
don't trust
what
that
happened to the
motherfucker.
polytheists, man? Now they have to. Which God do they have to choose?
The middle one, the average. You
That-
go remember in elementary school when you're trying to find the median of like a range of numbers, and you go like this with your fingers.
It's
and then you
on
hit
the bell
middle.
curve.
Yeah.
You were gonna say
No, I
something,
think-
Troy? Oh,
Oh.
I thought you had something to say.
Well, religion is embedded in our constitution and in
Yeah.
every.
It
Is it embedded?
I
think
don't.
so.
I think yeah.
There's a lot of word like God and stuff in the Constitution, but I still feel like it's not. That isn't the big reason why it's here today.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think that is.
Yeah.
You don't think so?
No.
Go ahead.
I don't think it's as related as you think. I think even if they didn't put God in the Constitution, there's going to be like a lot of God on one side,
Mhm.
Anyway.
They have to go
Yeah.
on one side, and most religions
Yeah.
are very like cohesive. And,
Yeah, we are not a monolith.
yeah.
Bro, okay. What do you think about uneducated people voting?
I think they're allowed to.
I don't think they
They're
should be
allowed-
allowed to.
Oh, like
Whoa.
you gotta take like
You're
a
gonna
test.
limit them?
Oh.
Yeah, I
Right?
think that because I think I'm not saying uneducated as in like they don't know their maths, but I think that people that don't understand
I don't know my
like
mess.
understand the platforms or the issues that are going on or that they're voting for, that they're voting just for the color. I think that's kind of I think that
I
don't
mean,
think
I
it's-
feel like you shouldn't. Then you would limit the color, not the education.
when I say color, I mean red and blue.
Yeah, I
I'm
know.
not
That's
talking
what I
about
mean.
color.
Oh, I know that. I'm saying.
Oh, okay. I thought you were like
Get rid of
yeah, don't let
the get rid of the color. Get
yellow
rid
bellies.
of the political party. Vote for an individual rather. But it's
Yeah.
hard to really like. I don't know why we don't. But I'm sure there's reasons for it, like why we have to have a political party.
a two-party system.
Even though
I think
George
it's nice to
Washington
have-
was against political parties.
Wow, dude, you took civics class too. Nice.
Would you say?
Anyways, I think I don't know what the consequences of having not parties versus having parties is, but I definitely think that we should have a wider variety, because you're right. We just have these two giant monolithic ideologies that you have to like kind of choose from. It's like choosing between fucking Comcast and Warner Brothers. It's just fucking
It's an
duopoly. It's a duopoly.
Duopoly.
yeah, it's just an awful situation to pit ourselves against. And I remember,
Oh, it's
I don't know if you want this exposed.
It's midterm season midterm voting next week.
Yeah, so everybody should go out and vote. It's November 6th for Florida, I think, and I don't know about I think is it November 6th everywhere?
Yeah, I think it's everywhere.
I'm gonna
Oh,
be
okay, so
devil's
number-
advocate here. Tell you all what my economics professor told me. Practice rational ignorance. Don't do anything. It doesn't even matter.
We're all gonna just fade away into the ether eventually, anyways. But I don't know if you wanted this exposed.
Go ahead.
Jason,
I
but I'm
don't
gonna
care.
say-
I care.
But you voted independent during the last election,
Dude,
right?
what the fuck, dude? Why you gotta expose me like that? Can we cut
Well, I
that?
remember that you expressed regret afterwards.
Oh, really?
Did I express regret?
Yeah, you did. You said, "Dang, I voted independent when I should have." And I'm not
Okay,
gonna say.
regardless of what he said right after then, how do you feel right now?
I think that it's right that you vote independent. I think
I
that you
voted
should
my
vote.
conscience. I voted my conscience.
Yeah, but a lot of people would disagree, and they would be like,
Hey.
"Yeah, well, I mean, you knew what the outcomes were going to be, and you knew that if you had done this, then
Yeah.
this was
Hey,
going to happen," kind of thing.
I
But I
just
do think that you
noticed
should
something.
you should take a stand and vote for what you believe in, and
Yeah.
not just vote because.
Of a color.
But I guess that's.
Yeah,
I think,
so
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
You brought up such a good point. Like, there's so many people out there trying to get you to vote. They're like, you better go vote. But it's like, if they figured out like
Who you were actually voting for or something?
yeah, they're like, what the freak's wrong with you?
Don't
Like,
vote. Don't vote.
Like, don't you think that's like a bunch
Go
of
back
like
home.
virtue signaling? Like, you want to look like you're a really involved, like grateful citizen, but on the inside you just care about yourself.
Of course.
You know.
Yeah. I think there are quite a few people like that.
The whole point of voting.
I really want you to just get your voice out there. Oh, it's for Trump. It's for Trump. No.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of the same people who would be like, make sure you go out there and vote no matter what, and you told them you were voting like for Trump last time, they would just like turn their back on you or just like completely flame you.
Instantly.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
I think a huge majority of them definitely would, and that's.
Well, I think that's because
ironic.
We live in a college campus, but I mean the majority
Oh,
of
that too.
Yeah,
We live in a society.
A college society.
but fuck, I forgot what it was.
You started this by wanting to limit uneducated motherfuckers.
That's right.
I guess going back to that then.
Would they take a test?
And I remember I forgot there was somebody from history, and it might have been like Aristotle or something, but he said something along the lines of like having like a democracy isn't really the best form of
course not.
Society or whatever.
No one really truly thinks democracy is the best one. Is the ideal one, but it's just the best one we have.
I mean, not necessarily. I mean, what we have now in place is, and what we use now is a representative democracy. Yeah. So it's that kind of middle ground. But even then, like you have these pros and cons where like if you have this one representative that supposedly is supposed to be super educated about the issues, and that's the reason why we elect somebody like that, so that we don't all have to kind of tune into those things and pay attention and be educated in that way. Bribing one person is like much easier to bribe than bribing a bunch of people, I think. So I think having representative democracy almost like kills the process a little bit. But yeah.
So what would you recommend instead? Like as an
you think we should vote for policy?
Kill people, burn shit, fuck school.
Why don't we just get rid of representative and just vote for policy?
Yeah, so like you have like a list of let's say 100 policies, and they say yes or no, yes or no. Yes
but
or
you
no,
got to imagine some people might not even won't even read it. I think it's we.
What do you mean?
People won't read the policies.
Like when
yes, no, but I mean like it should be like the issue should be the headline. You know,
I think
of the thing that you're voting
I think
on.
issues
it should be like issue number one.
But usually they're so like exhaustive and long, like 500 pages. Yeah. So how can you expect like regular people to take their time to understand 10,000 pages of policy to vote on?
That is hard.
Answer that fucking question.
I think there should be different. Oh, go ahead, Troy.
Sorry, I just had a small comment. Like I would want that to happen, but like you said, if that's true, like that's really hard and long.
Logically speaking, it doesn't make sense. It can't work like that.
Yeah, but and that's true. And like I think realistically, you know, that's nearly impossible to achieve. But I think we should definitely promote an educated society. We should. Yeah, but you know what? This line of thought is the same exact thinking as us voting independent. It's like we should vote for what we believe in, and we should stand for what we believe in. And we believe that our voters should be educated. And we believe that us as a society should be educated. So then, therefore, you agree with me that
you're gonna assume I agree with you?
No, but you have to logically, following what I just said, you have to agree with me that we should make these exhaustive lists and expect our people to learn how to do them because they should, because that's what our ideals are.
So if we never push for that, they'll never be that good, is what you're saying. Right?
I fucking disagree.
Well, I mean, I was just drawing on the logic that we had earlier about voting independent.
I feel like it's a very idealistic society that like we kind of like.
Voting independent is idealistic. It's idealistic of you.
That's true. I guess it is at the end of the day.
Because you know in the end that it's not going to make a difference. It's not going to make a difference
at that time.
Sure, yeah, and I guess you could, if you look at it over a long period of time, that maybe your votes will begin to like sway other people to vote independent. But you knew that in this election, voting independent wouldn't make a difference in this election.
Yeah,
In this
I didn't.
election.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I probably.
So-
yeah, I probably didn't.
Yeah. Well,
Well, I mean, we can always strive for it. We can hope for it. We can
yeah.
just
So I want
hope.
to strive for a more educated society.
Think about
that
how many
reads
times
through
in
these
history-
10,000 pages.
Think about how many times in history, like thousands and thousands of years ago, it's like an individual who did that thing where they voted independent, not literally voting, could be some sort of battle or like altercation, right? And they lose and they don't get anything, but maybe it paved the way later for it to actually work. You know, I'm sure that's happened
true.
countless of times.
I'm just gonna sit in my bed and hope that it works out eventually.
Well, did you guys vote?
No.
No.
Yeah. I was waiting for my
Absentee ballot.
Yeah, and it never came.
So
I
your
mean,
absentee ballot was absent.
I placed
Yeah.
my absentee
Whoa, I
ballot.
need an absentee ballot for my absentee ballot.
Yeah. Pound it, dude. That's right.
Bucket, bro.
No, fuck you, Troy. You're too late.
Yeah, I think it's important for you guys to vote, and I think you guys should
Oh yeah.
consider it.
Oh yes, you should too.
I tried. I put in the effort. You didn't even fucking.
No, I
mail
did
it.
ask Troy. Troy,
What?
what did I have on my desk? Like
Yeah,
one or two.
you had your ballot and everything.
Yeah.
He did.
My absentee.
And
My absentee
and
request. It was my absentee request.
yeah, well, that shit was due like I'm pretty sure it was due 2 days ago,
No.
the 29th.
Well, I said this was like 2 weeks ago.
Oh, okay. I thought this was yesterday.
Fuck out of here with your ugly ass face.
Well, so you didn't end up sending that in, did you? Yeah, I didn't think so. You fucking piece of shit. Go the fuck back. Get the fuck back.
He is ahead of those who did nothing.
It's still
At
on,
least you requested the request form.
it's still on my
Someone who
desk.
went to the gym to tour the gym, but they didn't go. But he still did more than the person who just sat on the couch.
Honestly, I'm slightly embarrassed that I admitted to that.
No,
Yeah,
you're gonna
that's
look
pretty
back on this as a successful individual and be like, I don't care.
I don't care.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, I wasn't the one that requested my absentee ballot. My sister asked me to do it, so she requested it for me.
Oh, well, see,
Ah.
I printed it out, and I was like, I don't have any envelopes or stamps.
Yeah.
So that was your barrier, bro? You could have gone to the office where you delivered it and then gotten the stamps there. Dude, you work for a mailing company, man. You could have just walked around the office and fucking...
Yeah, I know, I fucked up, but
Yeah.
hey,
I will make a small point on you like trying to get us to vote or whatever, and I feel like for these types of things I call them like 0 or 100 situations. Like there's being in the middle is bad.
quick.
I'm either not going to vote at all and relax and enjoy my time, or I'm going to go out there, schedule meetings, have people come to it, list the policies, say why they're good and bad, try to get them to get 3 friends to come each next time, do all that jazz so that I can actually have a more significant effect on the poll. But I feel like just going out there, taking the time to drive, wait in line, get 1 vote in, I feel like it's not worth it. And that's not even counting learning about the policies myself. And that's basically what our professor taught to us about rational ignorance. And at the end of the day, I mean, he didn't say this, but I figured it out. Like, if you don't do the 100% way where you go really try hard, you're basically doing it just to make yourself happy, which is fine. Because remember, like I'll say it again, I think the goal of life is happiness. So if it makes you happy, you go do it.
that's right.
True. That's true. The goal of life is happiness.
It's not about policy, fiscal responsibility, social responsibility. It's about being happy.
I used to be really confused about the meaning of life, but then I thought about it and it started to make so much sense. Everything you do is either to make you happy or to reduce the amount of pain that you would feel. So like in economics, there's profit maximization or cost minimization. And we're constantly doing that in life with happiness.
Do you guys... And dude, are you fucking flossing?
No.
Oh, Jesus.
Bro. Okay, anyways. So do you think that you generally act in ways to increase happiness or to decrease pain?
Most of the time, I try to increase my happiness. But sometimes I think a lot of selfish things like when you buy your son a Christmas toy or you sacrifice something so you can spend time with your wife, that's kind of like cost minimization.
I think that I generally, and I don't think that I act selflessly, but I do think that I generally act in ways to minimize pain in general, as opposed to promoting happiness.
I think that depends on your outlook on life.
Yeah.
Are you a
And
positive or
note-
negative person?
Yeah. And a side note, I think
I
no
don't
matter
know
which action you're doing, there's no such thing as a truly selfless 100% action.
Yes, we
it's
know
at
that.
least 1% to make yourself happy.
So what do you think? What do you think that? Do you think that there are such thing as? Can you act morally? If you can never do something that's truly altruistic, can you act morally? Does
I think so because you literally can't. I feel like you literally cannot do something 100% altruistic. Not because you suck, but you do not have the capability as a human being with our certain genes and brains, whatever. You cannot. So you're doing the best you can. So yes,
So you can.
so you can or you cannot act
Yeah, it
morally?
sounds like you.
I think you can. I think you can. Even if
But
there's
your
a
whole
0.
argument was like sounded like you.
I think so. You think that you can act morally
sorry.
and be selfish?
Yes,
Yeah, I
but
think
once
so, yeah.
again, this all depends on your definition of does altruism mean 100%? You know, things like that. Like it's all about definition. I
that's-
personally feel like
It's a spectrum.
yeah, it's a spectrum.
It's a spectrum. It's 2018.
Yeah.
I mean,
What do you think? What do you think about acting moral? Do you think that you can? I guess about altruism, and do you have to be 100% altruistic to be moral, Jason?
no, I don't think so. I think you do moral moral things, and even if they are selfish, they can be moral, I guess.
Yeah, like just a trade. Like when people trade goods. I mean, this might not be the best example, but you're both benefiting, even if you're both benefiting.
Me
I'm trying to say, like-
grabbing that high chair for that woman, I benefited from it because it made me feel like I was a better person.
Yeah,
but it was a
of
moral.
course, it's going to make you feel like a better
It was a
person.
nice thing to do. I don't know
And
if
it's
it's.
still a
I
nice
wouldn't
thing
say
to do.
moral.
What if you did it? What if you did it to make yourself feel good? And
That's the
I
only,
think
if you think that's the only. That's my only reasoning.
Yeah, if that is your only reasoning, then I would say that is not moral.
I'm an
So it's all
asshole.
about
I'm a
the
fucking
intent.
asshole.
It's all about the major intent, and it's hard to measure. Like
So
I
it's
did
about
it 60% for me, and I
might be
did it
about
40% for that woman. You see what I'm saying? Like,
So do you think? So what would be the threshold then of selflessness that the action has to be? So what threshold of selflessness does the action have to be for it to be moral?
So let's just go
Because-
back to what Jason said. If you, I mean, once again, it's hard to measure, but if the majority of his reasoning for getting that high chair is to make himself feel good, then no. And I guess you could define majority as more than 50%, right? You can't literally measure the percent, but
I
if you
think
just
we can.
relativity,
I got a
so-
calculator for that.
So if he did it 51% for that woman, I mean for himself, and 49% for the woman, then no, that is not a.
That's not a moral action.
Yeah, so that's what I'll stand for now. Obviously, it's hard to measure. but that's the best answer.
Interesting. I mean, when I actually did it at Five Guys that one time, it was.
I remember that. That was awesome.
Yeah. See, because
Wow, you're such a well. You telling it on this podcast kind of makes it about yourself, so therefore it's no longer a moral.
yeah,
a moral-
I offsetted it. It was 90% me being altruistic, and then up
That's a
until
good
this point now, it's added another like 60-70% to my selfishness.
Yeah, now it's all about.
It's
oh,
it's
look-
about building me up. Look at me,
You know
how
what- you know
how
what it's
such a
like,
good
dude?
person I am.
It's like those YouTube videos of those people going out and giving homeless people money. I think
Listen, that
shit's
woman was
so-
not homeless. First off,
Well, it depends which video you're talking about. But,
I'm
but
not. I'm saying that woman I helped was not homeless.
Okay,
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, sorry. Yeah.
Well, no, but I'm saying I'm talking about the I'm talking about the fact that you exposing your good deeds is just
Yeah, the
like
YouTube
those
stuff.
YouTube videos of those people going out there and like, hey guys, watch how I helped
Yeah.
this homeless person today.
And
Check it
since
out.
we are not really in their head, so unless it's blatantly obvious, we'll never know the true.
We know they're
distribution
doing it
of
for a
self
video. They
versus-
know they get
They're
more.
doing it for I think it's definitely for attention.
I don't
So
think
most
any of
likely,
them.
yeah.
I don't think any of them are like I'm doing this because integrity is.
because you don't hear about those doctors without borders people.
Yeah.
They're not fucking.
I think
with
to
their
be,
own YouTube channel.
especially in that sort of case, to be truly to have integrity means doing the right thing even when you know nobody's watching.
Mm-hmm.
So I think because of the fact that you're filming it, automatically kind of makes
doing
it,
it for-
makes it.
But what if they justify it like I want to film it so I can encourage people to do the
They're
same
fucking
thing?
liar. They're fucking liar. That's all.
Okay, well, I mean,
All of them, zero. All of them are liars. I am only.
Did you guys ever?
What?
Did you guys ever have like those people, those super high overachievers in high school that were like, yeah, I went to Africa and I built some libraries and shit.
Yeah, you built a
I've seen-
fucking
yeah, I've seen those
library.
people.
You and your
Yeah.
fucking engineering skills. You fucking bitch. Fuck you.
No, there was people like
You
that
ain't
in
a
high school.
fucking
That's
architecture
total-
at 15 or something.
fucking Frank Lloyd Wright over here,
Yeah, that one.
which you don't know who that is.
Yeah,
anyways.
that one. That motherfucker.
But yeah, no, that's what that reminds me of. And that shit always used to kind of peeve me. It was just like,
Yeah, I mean,
And
It's
then they
like
go
that.
there and just take pictures.
yeah, it's all a fucking photo.
It was
op,
all a
bro.
vacation. It was really a vacation.
I get that small type of feeling when people show a picture of them voting or say, "I voted." You know, not that. big.
Look how high and mighty I am. I voted. I exercised my voter rights.
You know what it is? It's like those people that post gym pics.
Yeah, I hate those fucking people.
Whoa,
I honestly can't stand anyone who ever posts a pic of them at the gym.
is that the same?
But I
concept?
think posting pics at the gym is definitely a form of narcissism.
I definitely
Oh, for
agree.
sure.
Oh,
Any type
I'm a
of selfie is.
narcissistic person.
Yeah,
Any
for
type
sure.
of Selfie is. Yeah.
Okay, you were supposed to disagree, but okay.
Well, I guess that brings us to something that we were talking about earlier. I don't know if you remember, but it was talking about caring about what other people think about you. And do you guys feel like you guys
Yeah.
care a lot about what others think about you?
I think I do, but up to a certain point, I wouldn't let it completely defeat me. You know what I'm saying? At most, it would make me feel upset, like, oh, I can't believe this person thinks like I'm not good enough at this or this, whatever. But I would still keep like trying and getting better.
What is the right
Regardless.
thing to do? What
the
is
right thing to do?
is there a
So
right
this-
answer to this?
Oh, for
I guess not. I don't know if there is. There might be, but I think that it comes down to what I said earlier about being able, and this applies to choice scenario, but it comes down to being able to control your reaction to things. It's all about self-control. So if like somebody says that, hey, you're not that great at that, I think that the appropriate response is that you should kind of reflect on that criticism and think, is it true or is it not true? And
Yeah,
you
definitely.
inspect yourself and you're like, am I actually bad at this? And if you come to the conclusion that, no, you're probably not bad at this and the guy is
just a hater.
misinformed,
Just a hater.
then I don't think you should be angry at that person, but I don't think that you should, and I don't think that you should let it bother you. I don't think so. In that sense, for me, I'm very much an advocate of like you shouldn't really care too much about what people think about you. And I don't know. I don't think that I always follow it myself. There are definitely a lot of times where I don't, but I definitely think that you should be in control of yourself and not let the thoughts of other people influence how you behave. Because then you're just a fucking monkey, and then you're just a slave to everybody else.
That's
I will
right.
slightly piggyback off that. I pretty much agree with all of that, except I do use people's criticisms to help myself.
Yeah, no,
So
and
if I decide, that I really needed to improve at that one part in that speech, and I'll be like, oh, great, I'm going to work on that.
that's
Or, yeah.
no, I was
Or,
gonna
like,
say, God damn it. And that's the
you
the
go
beauty of
ahead.
it, because it's all about internalizing what they say, and if it's false, then you just discard it, and if it's true, then you work on it. So yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And definitely. And then the reverse spectrum, let's say they say I'm bad at something, and then I truly think about it really hard, and I'm like, I feel like I'm an expert at this point. I'm like, no, I really think what I did was good. I'm going to keep doing it. But
Yeah.
and
Nah, you wrong, motherfucker.
one more thing, if they say they really like something and I agree that I did a good job, we all need positive encouragement in our life. That really helps us.
We all need to feel appreciated, Troy.
Well, you should take that in, think about it too. I was like, no, bro, I fucking sucked at that, bro. Shut the fuck up, motherfucker.
You are your worst critic.
Definitely. So I
Okay,
agree
but
with
what do you think?
Let it control you.
Oh,
do you think,
I,
Jimmy?
I mean, I think I care a lot about what people think. I
And
think-
why? Why do you think that? Why do you care?
Why do I care, or why do I think? I think this. way?
No. Why do you care?
I don't, because I guess I'm just a people pleaser at the end of the day. I like to do what people like. I like to be what people.
You-
I think-
Prostitute.
yes, I'm a prostitute. I'm a slave to people's ideals, but I know necessarily like there. I'm not saying I'm like 100% like, oh my god, if Jeremiah doesn't think I look cute in this dress, then I'm gonna be so upset. But like
But you would say your percentage
I
is
think
pretty
you would
high,
be
even if it's
upset
not
if
100,
Jeremiah
right?
didn't like you guys.
Jeremiah's a fucking bitch, and he left me on red the other night.
Okay. So listen, so you probably aren't 100% like you said, but you would say it is pretty high how much you care.
Yeah, I would say I think based off the people who know me, I'm definitely like a I don't really give a shit type of guy too. I give off that vibe. I think yes or no.
Go ahead. No, sorry.
I
go
agree.
ahead,
No,
go ahead.
I think you do give off that vibe. But
I think
continue.
where I say I like even based off the characteristics I do, like I say whatever the fuck I want. I don't really give a shit. But maybe maybe that's the vibe I want.
It's a facade, bro.
Yeah,
It's a
maybe
facade.
it is a facade. Maybe because of the fact I want people to think this way of me.
Yeah.
Oh,
So like yes, so that kind of turns into that. Yes, I do care what people think about me, and I want them to think that I don't care about them.
yeah, that
So
was
it's just-
well worded.
It's
Well, do you think that that's something that you should change about yourself, or you don't mind caring about what people? You don't mind caring about what people think about you.
I don't
think that-
I don't know if it's hindered me yet because
I think it has.
name one scenario.
So, I don't.
Name one
I don't-
scenario. Go ahead. Go ahead. Target me.
Did you want to
Never
type
mind.
and ask if it's appropriate? Okay.
No.
He knows it's appropriate.
Okay.
No. Forget it. It's not a big deal. No, but I do think that I think it's important that you be able to let go of these things because they're like chains to you, man. They'll drag you down.
I mean
And-
I think like there are points where like I know like where I it depends on I think it really depends on the person that their
Hold on,
opinions
and
I
also-
value.
True, but I also think I think that you putting on that facade. I don't know if we just said this earlier, but I think you putting on that facade is a very instance of you caring about what people think.
Wow, it's not like I just said that. Like,
Okay, right. Yeah, that totally went over my head earlier.
But it still sounds good. It still sounds good.
Yeah. Okay. I just think that that's something that I think you should definitely work. I think that's like a core value that people should practice, where not caring about what other people think about them, because I think that it puts a lot of people. It makes people react very emotionally.
Mhm.
And that's the problem, because that's how you get into these pits of people reacting inappropriately to, or people acting upset about blackface or something like that, is very much about not being in control of their emotions, because they're very emotional people. So I think that it's just self-discipline at this point.
Cool. So let's take a moment to just review our final answers in a short way. So my answer, I said I do care about what people think about me, but I feel like at a healthy, proportionate level. Like if I just made up a percent, like maybe 20 or 30. But I feel like
wow,
I'm
that's
still
very
always,
low.
I still feel like I'm always very in control of my final decisions, but I will use their criticisms to help me, improve myself or check myself.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my answer. So Tanner?
I mean, I do care, I guess, similar to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll leave it at that.
That's it.
All right.
20 to 30%.
Sure.
Yeah, if I just had to try to make up a percent. Now Jason.
So I mean, I'm the one who cares more about what people think. So I mean, it's definitely something to work on. I don't think. I haven't thought of. I can't think of an instance at this moment where it's hindered me, but I'm sure there is. Tanner, I guess. Apparently, we'll talk off air about that.
Offline.
But
It would have made great conversation on.
I would have been happy to hear it.
Recorded as a special secret episode.
I think I'm about
for our Patreon listeners.
Yeah.
at a good 55 to 65%.
Okay.
Care about what people think.
Mhm.
Even though, but I don't think it kind of like changes like my goals in life. Even though it,
Yeah, so you still feel like us, you still have the final button push on what
yeah,
you're gonna do.
I get the final button push, but I'm willing to hear more about.
Yeah, you'll listen longer. Me and Tanner will listen for like 2 seconds and be like, eh.
Get that shit out of here.
All right, I think it's about that time. We are a little bit over the hour mark, but I think this was a great show with a lot of great topics.
Yeah.
I think we spoke very, very smoothly and introspectively about many things. We want to recommend that you guys go out there and vote next week. I know early voting has just started.
Rational ignorance.
Or you could be like Troy and not vote at all because it doesn't matter. And we also
Or
want
you could be like us too, that didn't even.
Yeah.
Remember,
think
you
about it.
either don't vote or you go 100% ham hard in the paint. It's
That's
up
right.
to you.
You could be like Tanner and I who tried our best to try and vote.
Some tried a little bit more than others.
Yeah. You're welcome. Thank
I
you.
guess actually
Yeah,
you could argue that you tried a little bit more than
Yeah,
I did.
yeah,
but
It depends if you care more about the initiation or the process more. So in Tanner's case, sister initiated it, but he
didn't do anything else.
He did better
He
process.
literally didn't
I
do
was
anything.
expecting it though.
Tanner didn't do anything.
Oh,
His sister.
then Jason wins.
I actually like went on the internet, printed out the page. We also want to wish you guys a happy Halloween. Stay safe out there. Don't eat any candy with razor blades or meth inside of it.
Oh, be careful with the clowns. I don't know if that shit stopped, but be careful.
Yeah,
Oh shit.
that was like 2-3 years ago. But okay, yeah, definitely clowns out there.
There's a movie about clowns sleeping for many years and then they come back.
That's
So
right.
stay on your guard.
One more thing we also want to tell you guys about that we are now on Spotify. I have the link right there. There? No, there. Right there.
Right there, right?
No, don't even point, guys. You're not even next to it. I'm directly next to it. The Spotify
It's
link
over
right
that
there.
way.
No, not even that way. It's the other way.
Over that way.
Can you tell us how we're laid out?
Troy, you're pointing. I'll just show you later. Instagram link. It's only mine because these two don't have Instagram. Troy has an Instagram. I'll put link his too, but it's right
It's
there.
inactive for now. It's like a volcano.
It's right there.
It's right there. And also just remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel where we post the actual video content of this. That'll also be within the Spotify, or you guys could just look us up on YouTube for It's About That Time podcast. With that, we want to thank you guys for watching us. That took like 2-3 minutes to really say, but thank you again.
Yeah.
And we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.